Good evening, Master. Good evening. Good evening, Channel Norton. So, let's start another session. Let's start another session transmitting Saint Germain's messages to you, always with the purpose of enabling you to a greater spiritual elevation, so that you can do the processes already mentioned of levitation, teleportation, and materialization. Yesterday, our friends, beings of light, in conjunction with various brotherhoods of African or Afro-Brazilian focus, brought us valuable information, Master Tanaka. You already knew that a levitation rite was intuited for our friend Channel. Actually, two levitation rites. One focused on African culture and another on Indian culture. This was no accident. This was intuited by us so that our friend Channel could have the knowledge and pass that knowledge on to Master Tanaka about the presence of sources of light carrying out these rites right now, carrying out this levitation process. Although quite primal, it is an initiation. It is a start. On top of that, in order to get to know what is done in these rites and what is the difference from what we are doing here within the Rite Brotherhood. This is the reason why the conjunction with the Afro-Brazilian community was really made. Therefore, Master, as work has already begun, there is already a certain amount of knowledge, both from the part of the Master, who works with beings of light, and with beings from the astral plane, known from the culture, from the Afro-Brazilian religions, and also our friend Channel, who already has had experiences in the rites of these religions. We were instructed to have a closer contact with this brotherhood. A historical fact, Master, friend Channel, a landmark in the lives of all of us, a union, this joint effort of the brotherhoods, demonstrating the elevation, demonstrating the conjunction of ideas, demonstrating the humility in learning within all of us, the will to help our friends from the terrestrial plane, from the material plane. And yes, given the time to make this approach together, to have great effectiveness in our activities here, Master. Therefore, obviously, many paradigms will be broken. Many prejudices will fall on all sides, and we will be increasingly adding knowledge, adding beings of light in order to unite. As stated yesterday, in the house of God, there are many abodes, and we are all made up of God's share of divine energy, of the threefold flame, which is a piece of God in each of our hearts, independently of brotherhoods, independently of communities, origins, creeds, races, and everything else. Therefore, we are very happy to reaffirm our closeness and learn how to apply these rites on our human beings, friend Master Tanaka, friend Channel, in order to facilitate this process, especially the levitation process. It is known that in African or Afro-Brazilian rites, the constant rhythm of musical instruments is a facilitator for the trance, in fact, to achieve a different conscious. Therefore, we are going to study together how best to gather information from the brotherhoods in order to make it easier to disseminate the better conditions that lead us or that lead you to this process. We know that it has been very complex for you, Master Tanaka, friend channel, and all the disciples of the Grupo Fraterno da Luz. We know that there are many bonds, many prejudices, and pre-established ideas that really prevent you from even thinking about this process of levitation. And then we saw in this trance, in this differentiated level of consciousness, an easier way out, a more practical way out, so that you manage to achieve this process. Therefore, Master, we are gradually thinking this idea over and intuiting you in order to be able to reach these differentiated states of consciousness. We, from the White Brotherhood, have our restrictions on the consumption of any type of substance that alters the state of consciousness. And therefore, this is, say, a restriction that we have and we would not like to give up. But the members of the African-Brazilian Brotherhood in Africa have been showing us other ways to alter this state of consciousness through musicality, through sounds. Sound vibrations bring this state. Therefore, it will not be necessary to ingest anything, as we are against it. But we are going to think this idea over regarding this other form through sounds, not necessarily sounds from musical instruments, but sound waves, which will bring us to that state. We are then, Master, in conjunction, and we will do some actions soon, and we will intuit you for some actions. So today's message is more of a warning message and not necessarily of actions. A message saying that we are evolving on these issues, and for all of us, it is a very special moment. A moment in which we are breaking paradigms so that there is this union in favor of the evolution of the material plane of the planet Earth. A breakthrough. In all these years of coexistence, we have never been so close, which really brings us closer and closer to the divine presence, unconditional love, and a great moment of union of several beings of different origins. Very well, Master. Very good, friend channel. I hope you are open to the intuition that we will soon be transmitting to you, okay? Be vigilant in this regard. Very well. So be it, so it is. Thank God. Thank God.